In this chapter, you will learn how to complete the fee waiver forms to ask a judge to waive or reduce the required filing fee for your motion. Fee waiver is also called Informa Papyrus or IFP. These forms are only filed with the court, and they are not served on the other parties. The fee waiver forms can be found at www.mncourts.gov/forms in the Fee Waiver/Informa Papyrus category. We will first go over filling out the affidavit for proceeding Informa Papyrus. You should see IFP 102 on the bottom of the left-hand corner of the form. Fill out the caption of the form the same way you did on the motion to modify child support paperwork. You do not need to do anything for question 1 or 2. There are several reasons the court can grant a fee waiver. One reason is receiving public assistance. Public assistance includes, but is not limited to, MFIP, Minnesota Care, food stamps, and energy assistance. For question 3, check any and all boxes for public assistance you receive. If the type of assistance you receive is not listed, you can check box B and fill in the type of public assistance. Check box C if you get SSI, Supplemental Security Income. If you do not receive any public assistance, go on to question 4. You may also qualify if you have a pro bono, or in other words, free attorney. Check question 4 and fill in the information if you have a pro bono attorney. If you are not being represented by an attorney for free, skip to question 5. Another reason you could qualify for a fee waiver is if your family household income is at or below 125% of the federal poverty guidelines. For question 5, fill in the number of family members living in your household. As explained on the form, include yourself, your spouse, your minor children, and any other dependents. Fill in the name, age, and relationship to you for each person you include in your family size. For question 6, look at the income guidelines chart in the instructions for the fee waiver forms. Calculate the gross or before taxes annual income for your household size you listed at question 5, and determine if your income is at or below 125% of the federal poverty guidelines. If it is, check the box for question 6 and fill in your gross annual family income and your family size. If it is not, leave this question blank. Generally, if you get public assistance, have a pro bono attorney, or have gross annual household income that is at or below 125% of the federal poverty guidelines, you do not need to fill out questions 7 through 16. But be aware that depending on the situation, you may still need to answer those questions and provide that information. The judicial officer can also waive all or part of the fee based on your income, expenses, debts, and other financial circumstances. In our example, Fred does not receive any sort of public assistance. He is not being represented by an attorney for free, and his unemployment income is above 125% of the federal poverty guidelines for his household size. Since he does not qualify for the fee waiver for one of those reasons, he must fill out questions 7 through 16, and it will be up to the judicial officer to decide to waive all or part of the filing fees based on Fred's income, expenses, and debts. If you check the box for question 3, question 4, or question 6, you can skip questions 7 through 16. For question 7, fill in your gross monthly income, which is before taxes, and your net monthly income, which is after taxes, and select the box for the source of your income. It may be from a job, unemployment, Social Security, etc. If you are married, you must also include your spouse's income or explain why you do not know your spouse's income for question 8. If you are not married, check the box that says, I am not married. List all of the family members and dependents living with you for question 9. Fill in their name, age, as well as their net monthly income and source of that income. Be sure to list 0 if they do not have any income. If you do not live with any other family members and do not have dependents living with you, fill in none. Question 10 through 15 ask you about your expenses, assets, and debts. For questions 10 through 13, fill in the amount of any child support you receive or pay, the amount of any spousal support you pay, as well as your rent or mortgage payment. List 0 if needed, but do not leave these blank. Question 14 asks about assets you own, including any bank accounts, vehicles, real estate, and other personal property. Question 15 asks about debts, excluding car loans and mortgages. You should list any credit card debts, medical bills, school loans, outstanding utility bills, etc. You can list approximate numbers, but be sure to be as accurate as possible. For question 16, you explain to the judicial officer why you were unable to pay the filing fee, or list anything else you think will be helpful for the judicial officer to know. When the form is complete, fill in your name, address, telephone number, and email address at the bottom of the form. Date and sign the form, and then fill in the county and state where you signed. By signing the affidavit under penalty of perjury, you are stating that the information in the document is true to the best of your knowledge. Perjury is the crime of intentionally lying or misrepresenting the truth, punishable by mail and other sanctions. The order denying granting Informa Papyrus application form is the other form you will need. You should see IFP 104 on the bottom left-hand corner of the form. Fill out the caption the same way you did on the other paperwork. You only need to fill out the caption on this form. You do not need to fill anything else out. The rest of the form will be completed by the judicial officer. Remember that fee waiver forms are not served on the other parties. You will file these forms along with your other original paperwork for your motion to modify child support. A judicial officer will then review your fee waiver forms and decide if your fee waiver is granted, in full or in part, or is denied. If your fee waiver is denied in full, you will be required to pay the full filing fee. You can ask court administration in the county where your case is filed how they will let you know if your fee waiver is granted or denied, and, if denied, how to pay any required fee. This is the end of our video. If you have other questions about a motion to modify child support or for information on any other court-related matter, you can contact the statewide Self-Help Center. They can be reached by calling 651-435-6535 during call center hours, which are Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., or by emailing through our contact form at www.mncourts.gov/selfhelp.